a world nearly destroyed by a cataclysm, saved by the actions of heroes long gone. A world that has survived, recovered, and even thrived. This is the world of Tyr. Here, the descendants of those heroes and the other survivors of the cataclysm have built great nations, the 8 pillars that support the world. Nearly 1,500 years after the cataclysm, the world is one of relative calm. However, beneath this veneer of peace, great forces move. With every shift and shudder, they threaten to disrupt the delicate balance that keeps the pillars standing. Now, across the world, knowingly or not, people must become heroes, or the pillars will fall and Tyr will be no more. Join us as we follow some of those heroes and see their struggles to keep their world from destruction.
Calls for aid.
All right. Well, that made it in. So well done, Andy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tyr Astra Academy, where we desperately try to avoid infringing on other people's IP. Not really. Honestly, we're only so-so at that. But again, hello and welcome to another campaign in the world of Tyr. My name is Galway. I'm one of the founders of Helpful Goat Gaming and the creator of the world of Tyr and the GM for tonight. Before I turn things over to the stars of our show and let them introduce themselves, I wanted to do a few quick announcements, pieces of housekeeping, etc. First and foremost, Helpful Goat Gaming is a game content and game design community. If you'd like to join the heart of that community, use !Discord in the chat, or check out the link in the description below if you're checking this out on YouTube or on the podcast. We have a great time. We do lots of events. We do some internal only streams. We have reading corners, movie nights, game days, all kinds of stuff. So please feel free to come in, check it out. Have a good time. We stream multiple times a week here on Twitch, twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. You can also find a link for that in the description down below. If you are checking this out on YouTube, Andy, your lord.
It was a slash. Slash helpful goat.
And now I've lost my place. Where was I? Right. We are affiliate here on Twitch, which means you can cheer and subscribe, both of which help us financially. Also, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free with Twitch Prime. We very much encourage you to do that every month. Obviously, we'd love it if it was with us, but also just with any small to mid-sized streamer, because those early free subs make a big difference as you're trying to build up. If you would like to support the insanity that involves these campaigns going, well, you'll see when we get to the recap of last time. There's a couple of other ways you can support us. If you'd like to support us just directly, !Coffee KO-FI in the chat gets you a link to our coffee page. You can throw us a couple of bucks, help us out.
It was a dash.
Maybe, I don't know, do something for Andy. I don't know.
He just needs help.
And if you would like some merch with your support of Helpful Goat, you can use !merch to check out our merch page. We have lots of things from Tyr, from Fates of Rin, just generally Helpful Goat stuff. So please feel free to go check it out. All of the profits from that go to supporting our community and also to the artists who help us make the merchandise. Our most important command that we have here is !Donate. We like to focus attention where we can on worthy causes for you to devote time, energy, and attention to. Right now, we have a link that provides you a list of abortion funds, ways to keep abortion as safe, legal healthcare. especially for those in states where those rights are being infringed upon. So, last election was rather positive overall. So, but please, if you have the time or energy, the resources, emotional, financial, etc., check those out. See what you can do to support. And as always, we also encourage you to look for local charities that support that, because making a difference in your own community is really excellent, and often local charities have a hard time fundraising. All right. I think next week we have help.
I think next week we have the week off because of
right
the Thanksgiving.
The turkey. Yes, good.
I don't think we have any programming next
week. Okay, so probably no programming next week, but the week after that, I think we actually might start off the week with more tier, because Astra will be playing on Tuesdays on occasion. So
it's on the 29th, and then I've got on my calendar we have a makeup Halloween stream on the 30th.
Yes.
Nice.
Aye, Halloween is not over.
Halloween is never over.
That's my game.
But yeah, so as always, please come check that out. You can get you follow us for free here and get notified whenever we go live. With that, I will introduce myself one more time, turn it over to my players to introduce themselves. Then we will read Chelsea's poem and attempt to reconstruct the events of what for us has been a very long time ago. For the characters was approximately 15 minutes ago, if time has any meaning here. Questionable in tier. As mentioned, my name is Galway. I'm the GM for tonight. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm playing characters of all pronouns. And I am going to pass it to Heather.
Hey, I'm Heather. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And tonight I am playing Vanity, who is a tiefling of some variety. And yeah, I'm gonna, in Vanity's pronouns, I can English tonight. Vanity's pronouns are they, them. I'll go straight down to Andy.
Well, howdy. My name is Andy, and tonight I'm playing Bin, halfling druid, who, and both of our pronouns are he, him, his. And I'm gonna pass it to, that was weird, pass it to Chris.
Me?
Yeah, there was just a person behind you. It was weird. Sorry.
Okay, it happens. Hi, I'm Chris. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Banbon Quickfeet, and their pronouns are they, them, and they are a rabbit sorcerer who last session knocked out their best friend. But you know, it's okay. We're all in this at some point. So I am going to pass it on down to Joel.
No longer the power bottom because the age gap is immense, but it's still me. I'm Joel, he, him, playing Kentor Loki, the satyr bard, also going by he, him. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say, so we're going to pass it this way to the last remaining person.
Hi, that's probably me.
Her name is Lena, Joel.
Hey.
Well, it hasn't been introduced yet, so I don't know their name.
Yeah, hi. I'm Lena. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Septima, the Dompier wizard. His pronouns are also she, her. And I'm gonna pass it back up to Galway.
And let's not also
Vanity's
forget...
a bard.
We also shouldn't forget dear Seppi, who is your baby gray render. All right. So who would like to read Chelsea's poem?
Get back to it. We'll do it. Good.
Go for it, Heather.
Do it.
Okay. I just didn't know if anybody heard me because there was silence. Okay. A wonky but ever-present loop in this mystery of time to solve the puzzle and do some crime. If at first you don't succeed, the answers you might try to steal, but a whoopsie, almost total party wipe is probably not ideal. A lesson for whatever day awaits on the Academy tour, deeply blurred. Much love, crew. Your chaos is supported. Thank you. And you are seen and heard. I love that, Chelsea.
Seagull,
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
they love us.
Yeah. And that's why I want to make sure that you're still alive.
See, they fully approve of our role-playing experiences and choices.
Indeed.
That's
We
because
made some
everybody wants
choices.
chaos.
Mm-hmm. We're all chaos goblins.
Yeah. So with that as a very good basis to work from, what all happened last time?
Oh boy.
We all
Death.
almost died. we are in some sort of a loop,
Or
maybe
not.
time loop, maybe or not.
Yeah, the days
Doesn't
repeating.
really know.
Lives are running out, and I
Yeah.
think my gold that I used to learn a spell is gone. I assume so. I think I checked that.
I think so.
So like consumables are going away and changing.
We're low on cake.
And then we tried to let everyone know that this was happening, and it was a very kind, reasonable thing for us to do, because
Mhm.
people should know if something bad is happening. It
Yep.
makes perfect sense.
Let's play a
And
drinking game tonight. Every time we say, you gotta believe me, take a drink.
anyway, Ben like stood up on a table in a crowded classroom and yelled about it. And it didn't. I don't know why, but it didn't go over well. Nobody believed us.
Also, for many of you, I would recommend having that drink be water or soda.
So then, for some reason, we went to go see the person who makes the orbs.
Well, something, was up with our orb. And
Yeah.
it seemed to be kind of having
Oh.
trouble, and it glitched out
It
on us a little
glitched.
bit.
And I wrote down that the orbs know things are broken.
Yeah,
Mhm.
This is, I
they're
think,
Yeah.
kind of
after
my
we went
friend.
to go see the professor,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
We wanted
have
to
made
learn
it.
about how they were made and,
Yes,
Yeah.
and it did sort
breaking
of
them.
become Bin's friend and has gone into sort of a quiet runtime mode while it's trying to look for some answers.
And so the info we got from the orbs is that the data is wrong, but time is actually still progressing. So it's not a time loop, whatever's happening here. So we went to go see that professor, and we learned about the orbs. And then Heather was doing a really good job being charismatic, and we were just chatting. And I decided to use detect thoughts, because it makes sense to use that in situations where you're trying to get information. So that went poorly. They right, so we kind of convinced them, random, that we were telling the truth. Like, it seemed like they believed us, and they were gonna go check the logs. And then they froze and their eyes clouded over, and then they forgot that they were gonna say that. It seems like the effects of a very powerful spell. And so then I used detect thoughts to try to figure out where the logs are, which is like a proportional reaction, right? Like, this makes sense. This all makes sense. Everything we're doing here makes so much
Makes
sense.
perfect sense.
The average person
Yeah.
walking down the street would do this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, and when
Alternate
probing
drinking game.
deeper,
Every time you hear a desperate justification, take a drink.
this makes sense so far. And then when probing deeper, it caused psychic damage to them, and their eyes went wide again, and they froze again. But I had learned the cabinet that the logs were in, so while they were frozen, I went over to try to get the cabinet, but it's heavy. So Ben turned into a bear to get the cabinet out of the room. Again, this is very proportional. We're doing fine.
Didn't we try to unlock it first? Which makes taking the whole cabinet more reasonable.
Right.
No. You were able to open
it's that
it.
we didn't know where in the cabinet they.
Yeah, because it was like an
we just didn't
apothecary
have
cabinet where it
time.
was lots of little drawers, and September was like,
Didn't have time to search.
And then Rendem woke up and didn't think this was a proportional reaction for some reason. and called the guards on us. I don't know why. There was a bear with a cabinet trying
But
to
weren't
steal
they
it.
bleeding from like multiple orifices?
Well, I think just
That
a
was
little
later.
bit of blood at that
Oh,
point.
that was later.
And then
Okay.
we fought the guards, which were construct things, and random. And I kept doing detect thoughts to make them bleed more. And
Eventually,
did
they
seem
were
like-
bleeding from their eyes.
Yeah, it did seem like there was almost as if they were sort of infected by something that didn't want us prying around in their heads.
yes.
Now, whether that infection is physical or mental, we don't exactly know.
Right. And we discovered when I was probing their mind more, that like their thought that they forgot that they were going to show us the logs and believed us, that like got locked away and sequestered away. Like I knew it was in there, but they couldn't remember that anymore. So it seems like something is impacting them, either like a creature is actively doing it or they're under the effects of something. And I wrote down, I'm killing them though, which is a concern from the psychic damage. And anyway, so eventually a lot of us went unconscious. Things kind of de-escalated, but Ben for some reason went berserker rage and did not want to stop fighting. I don't know why, but Ban knocked Ben out, and that's kind of where we ended.
Ban Bon.
Thank you. Fuck. Ban.
It's all right. You said Ban Bin, so I mean, you know,
Ban Bond.
But
all
better than
works
Bon
out.
Bon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty much it. Also, I will just quickly note that their reaction to discovering that they might be in some kind of time paradox was to, one, suggest testing it by killing someone. That was Bin. And Bin's reaction to informing the class or trying to see this was not to subtly ask how people were doing, what their perception of reality was. He pretty much just jumped up on a desk and began screaming about how this was a loop.
Quite reasonably.
Sure. That
If something is happening, people deserve to know.
okie doke.
Public service announcement.
And at the end of this, a very tired, bleeding heavily, Rindam Zelen, mentor of magical technologies, got you all except for Bin to agree that you were just going to chill out and we were going to go talk to the Archmentor about all of this. They honestly didn't even seem that upset with you. They also seemed very frustrated that they were going to have to go do an immense amount of paperwork around students assaulting them, trying to steal things, etc.
Excuse me? We never assaulted Rendem.
At
Well,
least
you
one of you
did.
shot them.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
And just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure
They were
did.
first in combat.
You sure did.
Oh.
I mean, I know
We
we're
don't
on the same
remember
team
this.
and everything, but I'm
From
fairly
memory,
certain that
sir.
like detecting thoughts and making them bleed is classified as assault.
I think assault has to be physical. So
No.
I think it's
No.
also possible for me
No,
to
it sure
commit assault,
doesn't. It
actually,
sure
as a
doesn't, buddy.
wizard.
Not
I would like to argue that
if
it's
we don't remember it,
impossible.
it didn't happen.
in any event. We will pick up the action shortly following these events. Bin is still, at best, semi-conscious, sort of slung over Bad Bond's shoulder. Seppi is eyeing him questioningly.
Should I wake him up? Should I heal him a bit?
You could decide if you wanted to do that. I'm fine with that as you're going along. But
I'm asking the group.
So, quick question. I forget. How was Ben knocked out?
Banbon hit him on the back of the head with a quarterstaff,
Okay.
connected, and you asked, could you just be dropped to flat zero from it? You're stable,
Gotcha.
you're not bleeding out.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
And
it.
we kind of played it because obviously it wasn't even enough damage to knock you out that you're not even fully unconscious. You're just sort of like, what's happening?
Cool.
So Rindam Zelen will lead you up the staircases of the tower, which is the name for the entire sort of north administration building. and actually will lead you into the tower proper, which is the center of it. And it's a tall clock tower, which has sort of mottled white and gray and black wave patterns on it, similar to a large rock formation on the northwest side of the city. And after you go up, you would say probably, well, actually, 2 of the 4 stories of the tower, so you're in about the middle of it. They're gonna stop and knock on a rather impressive-looking door, which will just sort of open, and you're ushered inside to the Archmentor, Wingren Bonfara's office. As a reminder, she is a tiefling woman, mostly has a little bit of bluish skin and has a pair of horns which sort of curl back towards the front in both directions. So sort of a jaw slung and a ram horn on either side. And she is sitting behind her desk, looking at a piece of paper. Your guide is following along behind you, silent still. It told you it would take it a bit to sort of look into what you'd asked. Chairs are provided for you. You sit down, and she just sort of continues reading the document for a minute. And you see Rindam will eventually go, Archmentor, if I could just... No. So, I am told that you elected to enter Mentor Zellen's workshop, have a conversation with them for a bit, then attempt to steal their entire cabinet of logs on the back of a bear, and then assaulted them and fought the guards on as you continued to escape.
I mean, that about sums it up.
No, we weren't
Probably
trying to
pretty
steal
accurate.
the cabinet. We were trying to take the cabinet with us so that we could find the logs and then we'd bring it back. I don't want the cabinet.
We wanted one very specific item out of there that we were told we could have, and then something happened. And
Yes.
See, we're in a
didn't
time
remember.
loop or something.
Well, I don't
memory
think
but not
it's
really.
time loop.
No, you gotta believe me. There's something going on with people's memories.
Memories.
Perhaps-
memories.
Perhaps even yours.
Have you noticed that our supplies are running low?
When they weren't yesterday.
Mhm.
You're going to see Bonfara just sort of...
Five of us seem to be unaffected.
Okay. Let's start from the beginning of all of this and attempt to get to something potentially reasonable. So you believe, I'm not arguing with this for the moment, but you believe we are caught in some sort of magical effect. Be that affecting time or memory or something else.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
Well, we don't have any evidence it's magical yet, but it would probably have to be magical. I don't know of any physical effects that would cause something like this. Maybe
There's so many people affected by it.
vitamin deficiencies.
fair point, Miss Septima. An effect in any event.
My head hurts.
Sorry
Vitamin
about that.
deficiencies.
I'll reach over and do a healing word. I can find it.
As you do that, the floor under you pulses white.
Oh.
It's sort of a glassy gray tile, generally, and it'll pulse white. And you're going to see Winger and Bonfara look like directly at Bin. Pause. Tilt their head.
Do I feel anything?
No. You could give me Are you proficient in Arcana?
We'll find out. Yes, I am.
Okay. Just to make this
Oh, I accidentally rolled it. Wow, sorry.
we'll take that, but what's your intelligence modifier?
Int 0.
Okay, what's your charisma modifier?
Charisma is a 3.
Okay. So that's a 20, not natural. It was Arcana charisma. Because it relates to your casting in particular, not the generalized study of magic. You're pretty sure that the floor you're sitting on detects casting of magic, probably down to the school of magic, if you had to guess.
Okay. Just kind of, oh.
So she's gonna just sort of, all right. But in any event, you believe that something presumably dangerous and bad is happening. As a result, you went to speak to Mentor Zelen. Why?
Because the orbs are weird.
Specifically, our guide is broken.
Not broken, per se, just
Glitching. And can help us figure out what's going on.
So you went to Mentor Zelen because Mentor Zelen is the one responsible for the creation of the guides, and you believe that not just that the guide is broken, but I believe I heard you say, Miss Vanity, that you think it can, or was it Master Bin, that it can help you figure this out.
that's right.
I think
And the orb told us that it has data that suggests it should be the second of 10 days, but it thinks it's the third of 10 days right now. So its little internal clocky thing is off. It thinks it's the third of 10 days, but you think it's the second, right? Yeah. How do can I break off a piece of your floor for safekeeping?
That's a weird thing to say.
Okay. So you proceeded to Mentor Zelen's office in order to find out more about the guide, which you believe was able to help you.
Right.
You conversed with Mentor Zelen. They have related this to me. Your conversation seemed to be just sort of general questions about the guides. How did we proceed from there to stealing a cabinet?
Right.
Yeah.
So I can explain that because Vanity and I were the ones most directly involved in the preceding events to steal the cabinet. We weren't stealing
we
it.
had permission to find the logs.
Yeah, exactly. We just wanted we weren't stealing the cabinet. We just were borrowing it. But Rindam seemed to believe us at one point that we had lived today already. And then when they believed us, they said they were going to check the logs, and they were going to go over to that cabinet and check the logs. And then instead, their eyes kind of rolled back in their head and went all white, and they froze in place.
For a fairly long time.
Yeah, for long enough for Ben to transform into a bear, and for us to put the cabinet. No, wait, that was the second time. Right. And so then when they came back out of it, they didn't remember that they had said that to us anymore.
To the side, you're going to see Rindam go.
Yeah. Then they just randomly, it happened again out of nowhere. I don't know why. It was strange. And so at that point, we decided we should try to get the logs ourselves. So we went over there. I didn't know where in the cabinet the logs were. So Ben was very kind and transformed into a bear so that we could try to get the cabinet out and search for the logs. And then Rindam woke back up and was a bit upset that happened and called guards, and then it escalated into fighting because when people are attacking you, you fight back. It's instinctual. We can't help it.
A little
Look.
bit of chaos ensued.
Did we make a mess of things? Yes.
Yes, I agree, Master Bin. All right. I will assume that this belief is also why I have a notice here about a disruption in your first class regarding Master Bin standing on a table and yelling about various things for the class.
Various things. I mean, the things that we've been telling you right
The
now.
things that in fact bear through.
Right.
Yes. About this matter, shall I say.
About this matter.
Okay.
No one believed us.
Not entirely surprising. To that point,
Wait.
outside of the fact that you have engaged in some extreme behavior, to say the least, what evidence can you show me to suggest that what you think is happening is happening?
Well, see, that's why we need the logs. But also, the orb told us that it thinks this is day 3, but also thinks it's day 2. So time is progressing.
And the change in oh god, I forgot his name. The log, the guy with the logs.
Rindem?
Rindam?
Rindam, yes. Uh, and the change in Rindam suggests that they remembered at one point and then and perhaps they would be willing to have their memory explored.
Yeah, if somebody knew how to do that.
Yeah, that would be seemingly dangerous. I don't know.
Oh.
It seems scary and bad to do that. Maybe something a little bit more practical. I know exactly what my classes are today and what they're doing. I know that there was a Nothic prepared for me in my specialties class. And unless that's a secret that most students could find out and know, I've lived this day already. It's just the professor who probably thinks I did it.
I think any one of us could narrate what will happen in our classes, what will be said, what events will take place.
You gotta believe us.
Also, I enjoy the fact that you're, one, triggering the drinking game. Two, that we're ignoring the potential of, chaos theory here, as you have now changed the day.
Fair.
Give me a group persuasion check. I want all of you to roll.
And while we're rolling that, does the guide appear to have followed us?
Yes, it is. It's sort of dim, but it's been following you. Oh my. Okay, so I am seeing a 21 for Vanity, a 19 for Bin, avoiding a fumble, a 5 for September, a 16 for Cantor, and a 16 for Banbon. So a high of 21. Okay. Wingren is going to sort of keep looking at you. All right. I believe that you believe you were acting in good faith and with good purpose. I do agree, Master Bin, that your knowledge of certain facts is persuasive to suggest you have in fact experienced these things before. Tell me, what food was prepared for each of you for the picnic?
Going like
don't remember,
obviously.
but
our
Vanity
I'm not going to.
remember-
I'm not going to require the players to know that. You can.
Oh, good.
You can say that.
Mine was rice and vegetables. I remember mine.
Cucumber sandwiches, I believe.
Mm.
It could have been turkey.
Watercress, the cake. The cake was especially delicious. The chocolate with the coffee in it.
I'm going to sort of see her think. Rindam, incidentally, has been edging closer and closer to the door this entire time. They are just desperately trying to get out of the office.
I'm gonna be edging after them. Like it's like very slow chase.
They're like looking out of this. What? Do this. Go. God.
We need you.
One more point. Master Bin, you specified that examining Mentor Zellen's memories could be dangerous. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, when our friend tried to reach inside the mind to read the thoughts of Rindam, some... Sorry.
We're gonna kick him.
You know, when we're trying to like look into people's eyes and really look inside their soul, you know, kind of thing.
I don't think you mean that at all, but let's continue, and you can continue with this particular facade.
I would appreciate it. Thank you. So when my friend looked inside the eyes of the Rindam, something seemed to fight back and perhaps hurt Rindam, making them not able to, you know, remember and some blood. They still have some. If you look closely, there's still some blood right here.
You don't have to look closely.
Yeah, they are bleeding profusely from orifices. Hey. This isn't particularly dangerous, especially now telling you, because if you are infected by the same type of thing, we're worried you're about to get blood all over yourself.
You're going to see her go to speak, and then her eyes are going to glaze white.
Detect thoughts. I'm doing it while her eyes are glazed before she can see the floor glowing.
Okay.
So she shouldn't, like, when she comes back, she shouldn't know she's under it. I don't know.
Ooh, maybe.
That is fair. Give me concentration up to a minute. Thank you for pointing out that it's divination. That was what I was going to ask. The floor under you will pulse a slight yellow color.
Did we see any magical effect on the floor when her eyes went cloudy?
No, not really.
Interesting.
Give me an Arcana check, and for you it's just Arcana because you're casting. Sorry, not Bin. September, and for you it's just a straight Arcana check because Int is your casting modifier.
15.
15. So you get the surface level thoughts for free. You feel a partition in thoughts. You feel the thought of this is worth investigating, and the students need to be protected. You see some like sort of almost loose trails of a plan of getting you back to the domicile, bringing mentors, etc. You do get a particular focus on down. Like, she is thinking about bringing professors to a specific location that you can get the sense is underground. You don't get a map to it or anything. And then you see this new thread of thoughts almost forming in the moment of the students have been acting up because they're a little bit concerned, you know, it's a lot to absorb right now, etc. And so this is a lot for them. et cetera, et cetera. So one very not concerning answer. Are you trying to press deeper in with this?
Yeah, maybe I need to think about that for a second. So I also have a question. What is Rindam doing during this?
Rindam kind of looked at the floor and looks at you, obviously startled, but also you now get the same sense that Vanity did. It probably identifies School of Magic when it does it, so they don't seem particularly alarmed because you haven't done something that would suggest combat. They are looking.
And they see that their eyes.
Yeah, look at their eyes, random.
They are looking up at Wingren, and you see their face grow very concerned. And they take a step towards them before their eyes glaze over.
Shit.
Shifting to them. I think I can shift as an action.
Yep. Their surface thoughts. Give me another Arcana check.
24.
You've seen this a couple of times now. You're getting a much better sense of how this is working. You snap your attention over very, very quickly. Their original surface thought is one of deep concern for the Archmentor. They are very worried. This is clearly something bad. They do not think you all did it. Probably because of the floor, but they are trying to figure out what is happening. What is the new thought that's emerging in their mind is that you have gone over why you created some disturbances in their workshop after you'd had some disturbances in your classes, and Wingren has told them that they can go and everything's fine. That, you know, she'll sort of deal with it. You're not going to be in an enormous amount of trouble. You actually get the sense that they don't want you to be in a ton of trouble. They didn't appreciate, you know, whatever the hell it was that happened, but they also don't want bad things to happen to you.
So it seems like the stories that they're writing in their heads, the things, the lies,
the new surface memories,
it doesn't seem like those conflict with each other, and they actually support each other,
yes.
Although they don't directly.
Yes.
Okay. Am I reading the spell correctly that they only know I've cast it on them if I probe deeper?
And
Correct.
if they fail a check, or if they make a check, I think.
Right. They have to make the check if I probe deeper, and at that point, they know I cast it regardless of if they make the check or not.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not probing deeper. I'm switching Detect Thoughts back to the Archmentor.
Okay.
So I'm just monitoring surface level.
All you're getting is in a physical metaphor, it seems like the original surface thought is moving like down and away and has been basically taken over with the other thought. You also get the sense that there is not conscious quite thought happening. So you don't think they're awake. Their eyes are, her eyes are still white. Their eyes are still white.
As that's going on, if as soon as this happened, I could have cast something myself.
Sure.
As well. So Ben's gonna sort of clap his hands together, and a bit of soot poofs out of his hands into the air, and then I kind of take a little bit of that, turn it in my hands, almost into like a very fine mist or something. And oddly enough, I'd like to use Druidcraft here, and I'd like to produce a small harmless effect of a smell. And I'd like to produce a smell from like my homeland, something that maybe the professor or the headmaster or the arch is not familiar with, and just produce that smell around her. So what I'm ultimately what Andy's trying to do through neuroscience, I'm trying to make an odd but interesting and sort of enjoyable smell that might be more of a subconscious link to like the memory of this moment than
Okay.
something else. Since Ben has always
love
found
it.
flowers are the things that bring back the best
Yeah.
memories.
So
Yeah.
there are several flowers you can think of that it's not like you're not extensively trained in like botany in a sort of academic sense, so you're not sure.
Sure.
But you do know of several flowers that you can remember growing up that you haven't seen elsewhere, at least so far as you know. You have no idea where Wingarin has been, but
yeah.
And you pick in particular, it sort of looks like a flame red kind of sort of lily orchid style flower, long thin petals that sort of curve back, revealing a little bit more orange in the middle. Under your feet, the floor will pulse green, and you and the scent of that is it's almost it's distinctive in that it's sweet, almost berry-like, but it also has this very sort of fresh green scent to it. And it's a cantrip, you know, it is surrounding her.
What type of magic is that? I'm writing down the type of magic for each one.
Transmutation.
Thank you.
So far, evocation, white, divination,
Yellow.
Is
yellow.
healing or evocation?
I couldn't remember. Yeah, almost all healing is evocation. It's not abjuration.
Oh,
It's the creation of a new effect.
I guess, yeah.
And then transmutation. It's green. So that is the state of play. There is a interesting floral scent around Winger and Bonfara. Both of them are frozen. Both of them have their eyes have gone white. You are reading surface level thoughts. There are no new thoughts. There's just that, you know, the replacement thought has, you would say, taken over, and you don't get anything else.
Do I think I have time, based on how long it took Random to come out before, to quickly share with everybody what I observed in the detect thoughts?
It's hard to say because the different times that Random sort of blanked out went different amounts of time.
Okay. I don't have message. So I guess I'll try to just share a really high level overview of it and keep it real brief.
Okay.
Basically, I want to make sure everybody knows what the board state is going to be when they come back out of there.
Okay, so you want, basically what you want to communicate to them are the new memories that have been set up. All right. You were able to get through sort of a one-sentence description of each of them. When Winger and Bonfara's eyes are going to sort of start to uncloud, and you also, closer to you, September, you can feel sort of the change in body position for Rindom of, you think, consciousness returning.
Rindom came out first?
No, they're coming out at about the same time.
Okay.
It seems like it's pretty synced up. And with that, Rindom is sort of turning to go. Winger and Bonfara is like, I understand that this is difficult for you, and it is an adjustment. I have, at the request of both Mentor Azula and Mentor, good God, Zelen? Yes, Zelen. Mentor Zelen, I will not pursue any further action, but I would encourage you to perhaps spend the rest of the day more quietly. Your mentors for future classes have been notified. I would like you to, if possible, remain in the domicile or the library. Just take some time, try to get used to things.
Vanity's kind of going to raise their hand a little bit. is there any technology that would be able to, and I'm trying to think of how they would be able to phrase this, but um, like a video that would be able to, let's say, record events other than in a memory,
Uh,
or
Like our orb? Is that what you're talking about?
something like that.
I'm also still detecting thoughts, so I'll know like if
Okay.
she thinks something and then says something else. Tell me when it's been a minute.
Okay.
uh,
I think what I would, I would volunteer myself to be in a zone of truth, or to have someone detect my thoughts to see, so you can see the memories that we actually have, that they're not made up, they're not.
In your head, you're gonna hear Bin. I don't know if it's a problem of them believing us at this point, because as soon as they do, they're gonna go all cloudy-eyed again. I'm not sure convincing them is the exact right way to go.
you, as that interaction happens, and you can think about it, what you want to do, but you've said this out loud. When you're going before, I will go. Yes, that seems to not be a bad idea, so long as you are willing, and I would hardly wish to compel this. You're gonna see her reach over to one of the shelves. She walks a few quick steps. She thinks that this is a good idea in surface level thoughts, and that this is going to put this to rest. Like, good. She'll be able to go in. Even in, the only thing that is concerning in her mind is that she's intending to use Zone of Truth. She worries because she does think you believe some of the things you've been saying, but she figures she could use it to root around in just a couple of things and maybe be able to just, dispel this. She'll grab a scroll, and she will cast Zone of Truth on you. Please proceed.
I won't resist. I'll just let myself.
I figured.
And
And incidentally, Wingren is also going to cast it unless you all move towards Vanity in such a way that it only is affecting Vanity.
Cool.
You can also see the zone, the edges of the zone. A 10-foot or a 15-foot radius circle is now glowing pink, sort of around the edge of it, so you can see where the Zone of Truth is.
What type of magic is that?
Enchantment. And it seems like she's not intending to question you. She just wants you to get the chance. She also, sorry, September, you're pretty sure that she's like, okay, this is going to bounce. You're suddenly not going to be able to say some part of this, and that's going to help you realize, etc.
I will basically start at the beginning and say, well, we first realized there was a problem when we all went to our classes, and we had already been to those classes, and this, we realized that the supplies are getting low, but to everyone else, time seems to not have passed. Our orb glitched on us and told us that there was a problem, and we are in some sort of loop. And we don't have physical proof of that, but you and Rindam just both froze. Your eyes went glazed, and when you came out of it, you had no memory. This just happened.
Banbon, you've been sort of letting others handle this because nothing else, you don't want to give them enough rope to hang you with. So you're like, hey, I complied. So you're just sort of around the edge of the room. You see something very you saw the glow on the floor, and it's kind of cool. The pink is kind of cool. You're looking at, there's a whole bunch of sort of knickknacks and books and stuff and shelves along the edges of the wall. The floor under you turns purple, but unlike before, it is like seeping inward. It more and more of the floor is becoming purple, and it is centering on Wingerin. And a second later, there is going to be an explosion. I need September and Vanity to make intelligence saving throws.
Brack?
I'm not.
I fumbled. I'm using my inspiration.
Okay.
Oof.
Jesus
oh my
God!
I fumbled also. I have no inspiration.
You can have mine.
Thank
I got
you.
14.
Okay.
I just kind of shout out a little like
Oh my god.
vanity,
I failed. I
vanity,
got a
vanity.
9. Got a 9.
9 is
Can I
not
give
a
myself
fumble.
bardic inspiration? Woo woo woo.
I think that has to have gone beforehand.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, that's funny.
September take half of 9. Vanity take 9 psychic damage.
I'm
What
down.
is half of 9?
4,
I don't remember
in
to
this
round up
case.
or down.
4.
4?
Yep, I'm down.
Oh, fuck.
You're going
I
to
look real fucked up, but I'm up.
Banbon and Cantor, because you were sort of the least engaged in the ongoing conversation. You were sort of monitoring things. You, I think probably especially Cantor, because Banbon is sort of like, cool, glowy. Cantor, you noticed when Vanity cast Healing Word, the floor glowed white. When Bin cast Druidcraft, it glowed green, but not as brightly. When Detect Thoughts was asked, it was brighter. So it seems like it might have some correspondence. The floor is at this point bright enough purple that it is lighting the room. You are going to see Wingren Bonfara absolutely just sort of slump down. Seems not great.
What's purple?
Do I still have Detect Thoughts up, or has it been a minute?
It hasn't been a minute, but you do have to make a concentration saving throw.
And how do I do that?
It's a Constitution save. Detect Thoughts is still up.
16? What am I getting from her unconscious body? And / what did I get from her brain during all of that?
Cool. Make an intelligence saving throw.
Galway. I have
Galway?
a free
I feel like Galway's been warning us for the last 20 minutes, folks.
Yeah.
I don't know how to like make the signs danger ahead any more bright and neon.
I knew there was danger.
I just want to know what's happening. I got a 14 yet.
Oh, and let me tell you, you are going to know what's happening.
Good.
boy.
Exactly. All of it. I'll know all of
You
it.
try to particularly focus on her mind as you sort of recognize this happening. And then you are alone. You are floating in a very dark void. And from all sides of you, in varying pitches and timbres and everything else, you hear, "See, he will find you." Make an intelligence saving throw.
Another.
I move my detect thoughts to whatever these are.
You don't seem to have any magic.
Oh, so that's a no.
Incidentally, for people in the room, September has gone rigid and her eyes are clouded white.
Fuck.
8.
Um,
Oh, great.
you actually begin to feel your sense of self. It's not like you really have a body, you're realizing. You are being pulled. And you now can see that in this gloom, somehow there is something darker. And as you begin sort of moving forward, you're going to see a little shimmer. And the movement stops. And you hear, as if there's a voice, like, right here. Oh, this is amusing. Come find me. I would talk to you all. Delightful. And with this, you sort of hurtle backwards. You fall backwards when you are back in your body. You do not take damage. You are very shaken. This was... You had no magic. You had nothing you were going to be doing.
I rush over to Vanity and cure wounds. If it looks like Vanity's out.
Yep. We haven't passed a stabilization round or anything.
Cool.
What's going on with Windrum?
Rindrum has frozen again and has gone wide-eyed again.
Thank you.
And regardless of whether September's eyes have stopped glazing over white, Cantor's also going to healing word, recognizing that September's like barely standing, just from a literal standpoint, let alone health.
Okay. This ends. Rindum and Wingren are both frozen. The floor at this point is pulsing purple.
Fucking off. Let's go. Let's go.
I'll run. I'll say, let's get out of here.
We can't just leave them.
Yes, you
Yes,
can. Yes,
we can. Yes, we can.
Sure.
You don't... From your previous experiences, this would be a thing Banban would know. It seems extremely unlikely that this would have killed Wingren in one blow. It doesn't seem like it does that much damage. It's more like a warning. Cantor, as you're running, I assume you're heading out.
Sort of. There was one thing I was going to do real quick.
Absolutely.
And also apparently did too. Basically, I mean, Cantor's starting to walk toward the door, but Cantor, after doing the healing word, just sort of starts to whistle. My mic will probably not pick it up anyway, but kind of like a sort of a Celtish tune. And in his hand appears a very small minor illusion of a stationary goat. And Cantor's looking down at the floor just to make sure what that color is of illusion.
Illusion. You cast it. There's a stationary goat. It's almost pearlescent. Like it's a very it's you know, when you see pearlescence, it's not like you could necessarily say what color it is, but it's very distinct visually. That is what has appeared under you. Usefully, because you were the one who's going to notice it. You see something odd.
More odd?
Yes, in fact. Every time September takes a step, the floor under her glows a little bit brighter purple and then crackles almost with a sort of orangish. Both of them are very bright.
And have September's eyes stopped glazing over at this point?
Yeah, she when she was like falling backwards, they were unglazing, and she seems like she can move again, etc. So, and at this point, not that I want to rush in, but are you all heading for the door?
Correct.
Yeah, I'll wait to tell them
Yes.
what's going on until we are at a decent place.
You you get to the door, you open it, and as you're about to cross the threshold, September, you hear, "Come find me." And Cantor, you'll see a very bright pulse of orange with that. And you all are in the hall. You are on the second floor of the tower. Inside the room are a pair of immensely powerful casters who are some level of brain damaged at this point. And just a whole lot of concerning. What would you like to do?
So as soon as I think it's like a good time, I'll reiterate everything that happened when I went away. I don't know that my eyes clouded over anything.
Yeah, so probably while you're heading downstairs. I assume you're trying to leave the tower building.
I'd
Yeah.
say.
And I have no idea what happened because I just went down. So
As you're heading out and heading down, this September, it almost feels like every time you take a step down, you hear.
I'll probably also tell people about that. I'm shaken enough that I'm probably not hiding things right now.
Okay.
Find them. Okay.
kind of worried. I don't like. I just. Oh my god! I don't know what we should do. I don't know. What do you think? What? I don't know.
So, like, what do we know here? We know that something bad is happening and affecting people's memories.
At this point, Cantor kind of takes like 3 steps back, looking at September. For all we know, we don't know if this thing is contagious.
What
Your
is
eyes
someone
glazed
gonna
over.
cough on you?
Yes, I'm worried about the coughing. So funny.
My eyes glazed over, Ben?
Yes. You went all yumpy like the others.
But you still remember everything, yes?
As far as I know, but I wouldn't know if I didn't.
Right.
If you quickly relate
Well-
the series of events that you remember,
Yeah, I'll do that.
it matches up with everybody else's perceptions of what happened, with the exception of you have a sense of what happened when your eyes glazed over, which for other people is your eyes glazed over.
And there's
It
something in your
seems
Told
like
us. Has Cantor told us about the lights lighting up? As
Not yet. I
September
was
walking?
thinking about that.
Okay.
Now that we've talked about, trying to remember what was the last thing that was just said. Was it just September saying that
Contagious.
she does remember?
Yeah,
Everything-
confirmation
Yes,
that September
yeah.
remembers things the way you do.
So you know the colors of the floor, how it was going all purpley with the Archmentor. It's also happening with you. Also, a bit of orange. Mentor's kind of making eye contact with September, seeing if anything's registering. I assume not.
when I was away, I guess there were 2 voices, and one of them seemed like it stopped the ones that I heard at first, the dark ones. I'm not sure either of them were nice. But maybe it was interfering somehow. Maybe the purple is from whatever's causing this, and the orange was from whatever interfered.
Also, quick question: now that we're out of the tower?
Yeah,
Question.
you
Okay.
can be.
Do you still hear the giggling
Do I still hear the giggling?
when you step?
When your steps started to move away from the tower, it stopped laughing.
Did it seem
That's.
did it seem like Marco Polo kind of?
This is what I'm thinking.
Like
yeah.
or
A
like
little
like
bit.
radar in Pokemon Go back when that was still there, or echolocation, where it's like getting louder at
Yes.
certain points as I'm getting closer because it's
Yes.
getting hotter.
It seemed like that. Not even in louder. It seemed more excited as you headed down, and then it stopped when you started moving out.
I'll relate that to everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I don't think we can rely on the teachers to. See, here's the thing. Evidently, it's already
What did you get
infected.
that impression?
Well, from every time we tell the truth about this, they'll go yumpy. So let's.
Thank you,
We
Ben.
have to rely on ourselves.
We're on our own.
I thought at first that we might be immune to whatever's going on, but obviously, with September going fuddy duddy, I'm not
Why
sure
are
that
we
even
being left
we.
alone?
That's the question, I think, Vanity. Why are we being left alone?
September said that she detected something about something being down that the teachers would all go check on. And whatever it was that pulled her into that void seemed very excited about her finding him.
That's true.
Should we Oh, I really wish the guide worked. Are there blueprints or something where we could see if there's like a
Has,
catacombs?
To the library.
The library. We've been ordered to stay there anyway.
has
Or
the
the
guide
dorms.
has the guide finished sort of searching for information? Perhaps if we ask it. Oh, guide, dear guide, one who looks
Perhaps
for information.
You just sort of get that same hum of it's
Still
doing
going.
something.
All right.
Well, perhaps we should go look for information and maybe heal ourselves up a bit before we go looking for any more trouble.
I do think that's wise. Would it be also wise? I'm not going to be much help in the library, for sure. So,
Right. She can't read.
well, yeah, yes. So, would it be helpful if we tried to figure out what some of the teachers were doing the night before? All of this seemed to start in town.
I have two thoughts. One, I wonder if whatever it is still can't see all of you. I wonder if it found me, could see me because I was fucking around in their heads so much. Which means that I should keep doing that because they can see me now. So cat's out of the bag.
I
So
guess.
it's good. Like the worst that can happen has happened.
No, I don't think that's the case.
I
That the
think
worst that's happened has happened.
it could take your memory too. I mean, it's
Right.
yeah. We don't want it to do that.
Well,
Or
it didn't
brain
work.
damage. Or,
Yeah.
yeah,
We don't want you to
exploding
start
brain.
the eyes.
Okay, we'll table that for now, and we'll revisit it when I have the spell slots for it again.
Oh, God.
But I'm not sure we should split up. So I think knowing what the teachers are doing is useful. That we should also try to find a way to get down below. Oh, also the Archmentor was thinking about an underground place, convening all the teachers there under the tower. I thought.
That's what Bin Bon was saying, yeah.
So if we just
Perhaps
find a
something
staircase,
We could perhaps talk to
hiding
the
down there.
librarian and find maybe just asking about the history of the school, finding out, what's under the tower, that sort of thing.
Could we go to the library? Maybe ask to meet one of the professors that left the night before to meet us there? Do we know any of now I don't recall who actually was gone. I was worried it was all the Why was I worried it was all the divination professors before?
Like, are you asking like out of character?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Because
You
Andy
were
was
worried about
freaking
it.
out about that.
You
for
worried
some
about
reason.
it because in your head, in when you all had the visions, and
Yes,
got more power, your presence and Cantor's presence spoke of danger that was to come.
right. Okay.
And so you
And
were
I
like,
was
oh
worried
shit,
that-
if everybody who's concerned with what's happening in the future is freaking out,
That's right,
that's
yeah.
not good.
But it wasn't that. Yeah. So, do we know any of the professors then that left that other night?
Don't think so. The only one I'm trying to remember is Lachlan Kingston might have gone, and I don't recall.
Maybe we just invite him to come and ask. Couldn't hurt, right? If we all go to the library with that?
It should be noted, theoretically, you would have been in class with him coming up right here. This would have been your specialty class. So
Me specifically?
No.
Or
it would have been
each
September.
September. Okay.
But so you're pretty sure that the picnic is done with the amount of time that this took, if this is the same day and it's proceeding in roughly the same flow. So you would be in specialty classes, which bin is where you bought the Nothic. Or no, specialty classes were before. Sorry. You'd be going to the forest right now. So you're actually not sure where Lachlan would be. Sorry. I got the schedule.
Yeah.
And you were told that you had been excused from your next class so that you could sort of rest.
Is our orb able to communicate a message, probably, to a teacher? Or
you think normally it would? You're not really sure what it can do right now. And remember, it was behaving as if it was impaired before it was able to speak to you, and then it seemed to suggest that it was not running the way it should, precisely.
I mean, any other ideas on how to communicate to this individual? Is there like another group of first years that have an orb that we might be able to talk to and send a message?
The perspectives are all in the forest at this point.
Of course.
Everyone's all at class where we're supposed to be, but we are bad seeds.
September, do you remember anything personal about that professor that maybe they like reading books, or they love spending their time by the blood fountain, or
Meatball.
or the meatball?
Do I go away? I'm not. September's not really a people person.
Yeah, not really. You know that he's focused on like spell scrolls and things like that, magical formulae. But
he likes spell scrolls, which also points to the library.
Sure, maybe he's in the library. Maybe we just go hope for the best.
Right. You all can head to the library, and let's take our break there as you enter the cool dark of the library.
My.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We will be back in about 15 minutes for the second half of the session. Who knows? Maybe they'll get out of day 2 this time.
No.
Doubt it.
Hydrate, everyone.
Doubt it.
Hello, everyone. We are back. First half, the party explained themselves to you functionally. The principal, that went interesting. September took a little vacation. Now you're all headed to the library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, I was wrong when I thought that we could potentially break through these memory barriers by getting them to believe us. I thought if they believed us hard enough or thoroughly enough, that they would be able to break through. But apparently, whatever this is stronger.
Maybe there's some other sort of spell we can learn, some way to change memories similar to this, but less evil.
Was it a
You see,
creature?
I've heard that the power of friendship is enough. Problem is, we're not friends with anyone, so can't exactly help many people with that.
Yeah,
Like
I
we
don't
are with
think
each
I-
other, right? Right?
Yes, I'm sure it's
yes,
strong
I was
enough to
getting
break
that.
highly powered magic.
definitely. Do any of you
Mhm.
have a those things that you break granite and other stone with?
A hammer?
A pickaxe?
Yeah, more
Chisel?
like yes, chisel.
Why?
Uh, just so that we can go back and get a piece of that floor later.
Yeah.
I don't have a chisel. But maybe we can find one. But that floor, it didn't it electrocute you
I don't think
or
the floor
something?
electrocuted me. I think something else, and it was psychic, not electricity. Um, I understand that sometimes to rabbits things look the same. It's okay. I forgive you. But, no, I think something else was
Perhaps
doing that.
you wouldn't want to break it. Sometimes magical items or artifacts don't work anymore after they're broken into pieces.
Right. Well, that would tell me something about the floor too, I suppose.
Hmm.
Are we to the library?
Yeah, so at this point, you are walking through the doors of the library. In front of you is the large desk, and you see Evelyn Whitecliff, the large Minotaur woman from Dragon Rest. It looks like she's just been coming back. She sort of is sitting down, and she's sitting down at the desk, but like she's doing this sort of like rearranging things where you've just gotten back down and you're settling it. Yes, how can I help you all?
Could you tell us if Kingston is around? Have you seen him today?
Are you referring to Mentor Lachlan Kingston?
Aye.
I have not. I would assume he is still teaching classes.
I think they're on a break. Where does he go when he's on breaks? We have urgent questions about the arcane.
Uh, he spends much of his time here, searching and inventorying the scroll collection in the basement.
Wait, you said he's not here?
I said that I didn't see him, and I don't believe he is, but you do know he has classes other than yours.
No.
I suppose there are students here that are not first years who are not in the woods
There
that he
we
may
are.
be teaching. I suppose.
It's insane. Unheard of. Great. Could you point us in the direction of scrolls about or anything really about really interested in memory magic.
Hmm.
Thoughts, memories, kind of, getting inside people's head. It's for a class project.
What were you saying? Chris?
Oh, I was just gonna say, we were also kind of curious about like the history of the school, like maybe like blueprints, like so we could see like which building was first, and like if buildings have like secret catacombs where you might hide like strangely weird things that want to hurt people, just all sorts of stuff like that. Just the history of the school. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Shouldn't you all be in the woods?
Oh, you didn't get the memo. We were told to stay here.
Do I look like somebody who belongs in the woods? Look at
I was a pig.
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, we are in the woods. As you can see, we are surrounded by a variety of trees. We all the books.
Right, and metaphorically speaking, we're in the woods because we're
Yes.
so focused on the details, we can't see the forest for the trees.
We need to see the forest. Actually, we need some
And as if
trees.
all those requests for books weren't enough, do you have anything about how to treat blunt force trauma? Cantor's kind of looking at Ben's head where there's a small lump.
All right. Let's see. Blunt force trauma is most likely dealt with through healing magics and/or the study of healing herbs. You can find that on the second floor in the East Wing. The history of the school, besides what information I myself know, you can find there's a collection of documents that were around the establishing of the academy, as well as some details of the history of the site before the academy was here, etc. Those are also down in the basement. And I really don't quite want to answer your question, largely because of the way you phrased it. However, the pursuit of knowledge is always worthwhile.
I agree.
You were going to search for those. If you're wanting active scrolls of them, they would be in the scroll repository, looking under enchantment, most likely. Of course, you cannot remove those or use them, but if you wish to research the topic of memory magics generally, that would be on the first floor, northwest corner.
Or like your most high-level theoretical books about it. Is that in the northwest corner?
That would be where it is, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Also,
please keep him from eating the books. You see Seppi is now moving towards one of the books on a table and is sort of like starting to stand up.
Seppi, we've
pull a blank journal out and offer it to him.
If I needed to run a tab with the library for some reason, you'd be into that.
Why would you require a tab?
Well, I don't because I don't owe you any money, but if at some point I did owe you some money and wanted to owe you more money so that I could keep doing things that cost money, you'd be down, right?
Down.
I'll say into your head, and we could probably pitch in to help out.
This is a request for an exchange?
Well, right now it's a theoretical request for an exchange, but it would be a request for an exchange in the future, yes.
The library itself does not do such arrangements, but I would be happy to help.
Great. That's great. And we're square right now, though, right? I don't owe you anything?
This is the second time I think I've ever seen you.
Awesome. So that's a yes. We're square.
You ask very Very strange questions.
Tell me about it.
But that's a yes. I don't owe you anything.
I'm out. Ben's gonna just head out the front door again.
I'll head to the northwest corner to research this book.
A pale, light copy of the guide will be following you, Ben. And yeah, you head to the northwest corner. So, Ben, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to find a small animal within about 30 feet of me. Blue jay, squirrel, rat.
There's several birds sort of settled on the eaves of the library.
I look around for the bird killer. I don't see him. He must be in with September. I'd like to sit down and start casting Animal Messenger.
Okay.
It'll take me about 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
10 minutes and 6
Passing
seconds.
times in action. Oh, you're doing it.
Ritual. Yeah.
Cool. We'll come back to that once that's done. Let's pop back inside the library. You're all heading to the northwest corner?
I'm headed to the basement.
Okay. And Bond's headed to the basement. September is headed to theoretical discussions of memory magics. Where's everybody else
I would
going?
head for the basement to the scrolls.
Cool.
Kentor will stick with September for now. Party split.
Yeah.
Three-way party
Yahtzee.
split. Not like you've been knocked
Said we
unconscious
split.
multiple times already today.
Yeah.
Lena said that, so.
Is this a 4-way split? What are we doing?
No, we've got
Three-way.
two going to the northwest corner, two going to the basement, and Ben has fucked off entirely.
Talking to animals.
All right, let's resolve the northwest corner group. You go there. You've seen similar things. These are sort of theoretical texts, but this is done by a school of magic, in this case, enchantment. And then you sort of find the subsection that you're looking for of memory, magics, etc.
Cool. I start reading all of them.
There's like
One word from
6
20
large,
different volumes at a time.
There's like 6 large books.
Do any of them look like they have to do with modifying people's memory without their consent, doing psychic damage during that? Kind of anything having to do with what we've been experiencing. I'm legit trying to research this, not trying to find spells to use.
Yeah, I understood. You do find a couple of discussions of, or a couple of books at least, that seem like they go over memory modification as it's being projected, not like self-use being projected out. It doesn't really seem to have any mentions of psychic damage. It's more of a theoretical discussion of things, but it looks like this would be the book to sort of read through if you're...
Okay. I'm gonna pocket that book and then go look at the scrolls.
Cool.
She also doesn't know I've checked out a bunch of
great.
books. Maybe.
Your
I don't
last theft went so well.
I'm not stealing it. I'm putting it in my pocket.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Were you going to take it out when you're leaving the library to check it out?
It depends on what else I find.
It's not yet theft. It probably is theft.
Okay. We have incipient theft. Cantor, are you continuing to go with September?
Yeah, Kentor kind of looks at the book pocketing, hesitates for like maybe a second, and then follows along.
All right. Basement crew.
I'm looking for spells on like divination, memory modification,
Mhm.
kind of any of that shit.
So now you're looking for spells, not theoretical.
Yeah, now I'm heading to
Yeah.
the spell section. I'm speedrunning the
Yeah.
library.
I am actively looking for, scrolls that I think might be useful in either protecting our memories, or breaking magic that's got a hold on someone's memory, that kind of.
Okay. And Banban, what you looking for?
I'm looking for the history of the school, the blueprints, and all that stuff.
So Vanity, you can find essentially the scroll repository. They are encased in glass, and they're sort of like folios you can leave through. Um, this would seem to explain Evelm's comment of you can't use them or take them. But you can sort of start to familiarize yourself with more spells that would do things like this. Um, Over the table, I would say essentially the effect of this is that your character is now more aware of higher level spells, such as modify memory, etc., that you may not have been familiar with. So now you can kind of know roughly how those work. It's not that you could cast them, but you know of their existence. You know a little bit more about their power, their limitations, etc. Banban, yeah, there's kind of a little exhibit almost of like, you know, a small model of the school. There's some historical curios like the actual original charter that was signed in by the Republic of Tethrel to create the academy. And then there's some other books that are just kind of histories of the site, histories of the project creating the school, etc.
Okay. I'm interested in the book that's like the history of the site, but I'm also curious, is there anything that like legit like blueprints on
there don't seem to be any blueprints outside of kind of the model, but it's just a model. It doesn't include anything like underground. You can tell it's, you know, you can see the bottom of the table. Yeah, but you can grab the book that's on the history of the site. Do you want to page through it quickly before you like take it back somewhere, or?
Yes.
The site was, as you kind of knew, this was the headquarters of the Convocation Arcanum, who you've also been told are called the Unity often now, though that doesn't actually describe all of them. They were ejected from the Republic of Tethrel. Their charter was revoked when the academy was founded. This was somewhat surprising. This marks one of two of the 8 pillars that the Convocation Arcanum does not have official license to operate in. Is only here and Dragon Rest. The oldest and original buildings were the tower, followed then most closely by the South Gatehouse, because essentially there was the tower, which was the center of operations. The South Gatehouse was part of the defensive wall that they had around it, which at the time was more complete. Not that it was ever meant to withstand a siege or anything. And then the sort of various other buildings came in later. Most of the stuff with the Sylvanorum in the northeast, the gardens before you get to the forest, those are all entirely new to the academy. The domicile, the East Classroom, were both there. The library was a records center. It was remodeled. So you can kind of find that just paging, and then you can, if you take it and check it out, you might be able to read more into it.
I'll take it. And there's nothing else around that like talks about like anything on maybe the buildings, like in that book, does it talk about like who built it?
It does a little bit more, and like some of the
architecture or
detailed
whatever?
sections under the origins. Most of the rest of it is more around like, in modern terms, more like sort of impact studies of like, okay, here's how many students we've had, here's the process of this, here are the documents and agreements that we've made. So a little more press release kind of things. Yeah. We're gonna loop back around to the top, which I believe September is also heading towards at the moment. Ben, you have located essentially a dove.
Lovely.
And yeah,
I would like the dove to find Lachlan not Kingsley, Kingston. And I describe just a bit of him from what I've seen, but the name hopefully is enough. And I just say, hey, if you can find this person, please deliver this message. I and September Septimus require your attendance at the library. We have dire questions and need your help deciphering something. Please, it is gravely important.
Okay. You'll see the dove sort of fly up and just begin circling. It looks like it's searching for him.
Right. It can do that for 24 hours until it finds him, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lena or September, if you're heading out of the library, are you trying to check out?
I was heading to look for scrolls.
Oh, okay. You had said like you were heading to the birds, so I thought you were heading outside.
Scrolls.
Okay. So now you've headed downstairs. You are probably all the four of you inside the library are together. And you can see scrolls.
Are there any that look like they are at a level that I could copy them down?
There are a handful that could be. You'd have to be there. You cannot remove them. So you'd have to stay by them in order to do.
That's fine. It takes me 2 minutes per spell level with my thing.
Nice.
Please hold.
Okay.
That's very useful.
Were you looking in particular for any types of spells in particular?
Things kind of around like the books that I was looking at, also anything that I think would be helpful for me investigating this.
Okay. You find a couple, and I do not remember what spells, so if I duplicate something you have, no worries. You find Charm Person, which can have minor effects on memory, but that's not really what it does. You find Protection from Evil and Good, which could be used if you were investigating it, if it fell under if the things trying to harm you fell under one of those classes. And you find Detect Thoughts, but you know that one. And where was it? You find Suggestion as a way of trying to maybe suggest that something be forgotten, etc. You don't find anything that really directly messes with memories?
So that we don't have this take forever, can we just say I went back up, she's fronting me $100? Those are both first level spells, right?
No, there were 2 first level spells and 2 second level spells. Suggestion is second
level. I didn't say the spells I wanted out loud.
Oh,
sorry.
Cool.
Charm Person and Suggestion. Actually, well, how many spells? What is the combined level of spells?
2 seconds and then.
4, I think, because one of the seconds that I said just detect thoughts.
Yeah, so it's charm person, suggestion, and protection from evil and good.
Yes.
So it'd be 8 minutes and $200, 200 gold pieces. And as far as I know, she doesn't seem to remember lending me money, so it's like it doesn't happen. So can we speed run me? She's gonna lend me 200 gold pieces, and then I'll copy this all down real quick.
She, in fact, agrees to this. It is acceptable
Great.
to have this exchange. But she only has 150 gold and seems confused by this.
Does the
You've
library
used
not
materials.
have like a till?
Hmm?
Does the library not have like a till?
No, also this agreement is between us, not between... I would not incur exchange on behalf of the Academy.
Okay, can I borrow 150 gold pieces?
Yes. And
When do you get paid?
Yeah, you've
That's
used
true.
all her resources.
She won't get paid. They're probably not going to do payroll right now.
Right, because they think it's the same day. Over and over.
Yeah. Okay, well, I might have to start borrowing money from the party, which does remember things. But can I borrow the 150 gold pieces from her now?
Yep.
Is this just gold or materials for spell stuff? Because I have a little gold. I have no materials for you, like paper and ink and stuff.
I would assume I have
The
some
cost-
gold, but I have
The way it's
nothing
written
else.
is weird. It's the cost, and the cost represents material components.
yeah,
So, how do we want to call that? Like, could I borrow things of that value from her? She
You go
probably
to the
has
campus store.
Right? Is there a campus store?
right.
Yeah.
But
can buy
like
now.
if she has like paper and ink and stuff,
she does maintain a selection. Her particular specialty is finding magical tomes, so she does have this. I'm going to apply the same limitation sort of the other way. If we treat it as before she gave you 50 worth of this, she now only has 150 to give.
You don't want me to do this every day until I have all the spells.
Also, she's not infinitely wealthy.
She has a library. She has infinite paper.
That's not how
It's
libraries
special
work.
materials.
Okay, so
The
either
library
way,
doesn't make the books.
the library is made of books.
No,
Sure.
it's a building.
Okay, so I
Also,
can get
if we're
up to
following
3
the
spell
drinking game of
levels.
drink every time you get flimsy justifications, drink.
That's true.
Yeah.
I can get up to
I
three
need a
spell
refill.
levels. Which one was the level 2 spell?
Suggestion.
Okay, so I'll do suggestion and what does protection from evil and good do again?
Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures: aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Grant several benefits. They have disadvantage. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throw against the relevant effect.
Do I think what's been happening is possession?
Hard to say.
Could have to do with one of those creatures types.
Never know.
Yeah, I'm gonna take protection from evil and good and suggestion.
You do that.
Oh, I already have protection from evil and good. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take charm person as suggestion.
Okay. You do that. You complete that. You all are together. Do you want to head out of the library? Try to find Bin?
I'm looking for another animal too.
Published
While they're doing
by
this in
Ben.
this 8 minutes, you can find another. This time it's a squirrel.
Oh, brilliant. And I'd like to ritually cast Speak with Animals
Okay.
with my new squirrel friend.
You're finishing it up. You're finished this up as they're kind of doing whatever they're doing after the 8 minutes of copying spell. So what all would you like to be doing?
So I'm just kind of sitting on my knees, just talking just directly to this squirrel. And I'd like to say, first of all, my name's Ben. What's your name?
Ben?
What do they call you? I'm sorry?
Ben?
What's your name? Wait, slow down. If I'm talking, you can't talk at the same time. What's your name?
Ben?
Your name is Ben too.
Name.
Name. Can I call you Name? My name is Ben. Name. Great. So, Name. What did you do today? What was lovely about today?
Ate. Slept. Hid from Gray Thing. Ate.
Hid from Grey Thing. Interesting. Anything else interesting that popped up? Something that doesn't happen every day, perhaps? Did you find a... 8? That seems to happen every day, though, for you. Did you find a particularly lovely... Well, first of all, meeting me and talking with a human, that probably doesn't happen every day, does it?
You're not a human.
Person? With a person?
In?
Ben, yeah, that's me. The person that's talking to Name. So that's interesting, right?
Not eating.
Well, I have just a bit of roughage here in my pack, if you don't mind. I'll give him some lettuce and seeds and stuff from my lunch.
He's going to grab that and like just whip up the nearest tree.
Oh, hey, well, I hope you enjoy that. And you don't forget your friend Ben, who was talking to you and gave you some food. Great. Stimulating conversation. Hi, friends. How are you?
What are you?
Is
What
it
are
more
you
squirrels?
doing?
I was talking to a squirrel named Name.
Are you
Anything-
sure that's what the squirrel's name was?
I was pretty sure, yeah. Or at least that's what I named him. Maybe he doesn't name himself.
But how do they know who's talking to who then?
Well, they probably don't have conversations too often. Squirrels
Let's see.
communicate a little bit to each other, but they're more like food. You know, like, huh? That's pretty much it.
So
I
he
met a
didn't tell you.
monkey. I met a monkey once that could make a sound of a jaguar. It's beautiful.
Okay. I got a book.
Oh, good for you. Does it have pictures in it?
Yeah, a few.
I would love to see those.
Do you want to head back to the domicile, read the books that you have, and sort of retire for the day?
I did send a message to King. Oh, I can't remember his name. Kingston.
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 Kingley.
Lucklin is his first name. I did send a message to him that we very, very much need his help meeting at the library. So I might sort of just stick around here for tonight.
You're gonna sleep at the library?
I mean, what are they going to do? Kick me out?
Yes.
Probably.
Oh, did
Oh.
I just leave the book in my pocket also?
Yeah.
Sweet. I legit forgot about it, so I'm still gonna say it's not stealing because I intend to return it, so it's okay.
Borrowing. That's what
Yeah,
libraries do. They loan
Yeah.
books.
Well, I'll wait here until they kick me out then, if they can find me.
Oh, this sounds like a great idea.
Should we
Do we-
like
go
squirrel
ahead.
away some food?
Squirrel, waste some food. Funny.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
No,
If
you
you
mean
could
literally.
raid the
Incidentally,
larders.
Bin, from as you say this, from a tree nearby, you hear eat.
I eat. Yes, that's.
The rest
what-
of us here.
Listen, name. You hang out with us, you get food. That's all I'm saying.
You see Name come down a branch, see Seppi. Like, great thing!
Oh, careful, careful. Grey thing, bad. Careful of grey thing. I have no control over that. But, on the other hand, eat. Okay. You and me, name. You and me.
All right. What would everyone like to do?
I'm gonna go hide in the library until I find King's Row. King's Soot.
I also like that you're like, yeah, I left the
Often-
message for this person to come meet September and I in the library. Now I hide in the library.
Well, in a place where I could look out if someone comes in and I could see if it's him or not. Luckily.
Okay.
We could perhaps sit on the steps.
Yeah, why don't we just wait up front
Not-
then?
Yes, not necessitating any hiding or even going in. We could. It's a
Fair.
beautiful afternoon, evening. I have no idea what time it is.
It's getting to be very late afternoon. It's about dinner time
Okay.
in here. You spent sort of the free time. So you spent the fourth period largely in the library again.
Yeah.
You just started there earlier this time.
Perhaps we want
There-
to take shifts. Half of us get dinner, half of us stay here.
Yep, steal as much food as you can.
Yeah.
Hoard it
That's-
away. Like my friend Name up here.
Mm-hmm.
But if we hoard away the food and it becomes the beginning of today again, doesn't that food go back to where it came from?
Nope.
No, clearly not, because
Nope.
the library's broke now.
Well, it doesn't have to do with the broken library, but it has to do with we're not in a time loop. It doesn't reset. We'll have
Also
food hidden away.
And I guess if they were serving it at dinner anyways, we're not like hoarding supplies that they're already running low on because they were serving it anyways. So it's okay.
I mean, right. They'll just have to go shopping earlier, but we'll have food.
So aren't you a druid?
I could find us food. I could even make food, sure. But
I meant,
this is...
don't you have good berry?
Well, I don't always have good berries handy, okay?
That would be handy.
I don't even think it's a ritual.
Have you been holding out on us for food?
It's not a ritual.
Are we
Really?
hungry?
I'm always hungry. You've been hiding this from me?
If you don't mind bringing me some rice, I would appreciate. Banbon, get yourself an apple.
Apple! Yes,
Real quick before we get food. Ben, you know that metaphor about water being confined to a bowl and like you talked about salt water and there's fish in the bowl. Point being metaphors don't make sense.
Aye?
I know that our first instinct is probably going to be, and I strongly don't recommend this, going to investigate the basement and the whispery thing. But what if we did the exact opposite
Oh?
and went the opposite direction to Astra? Yes, it is the place that they told us not to go. But it would be interesting to see if places other than these school grounds are affected.
Very true. I don't mind that
Yeah,
at all. I
stretch
might
is up, not horizontal.
want to talk to Kingsborough first, but then we can
I don't think
I think
that's his
that
name.
would be
King Shanks?
Wild.
King's Wild.
He's probably fine with it if you call him by his first name.
Lachlan. Okay. If I can talk to Lachlan first, that might be ideal. But I'm very much on board with that idea.
And we should perhaps all go. That would
Agreed.
seem good as a group.
Do you think I'm going to turn into a wolf and just take off while you all are getting food or something?
Were you planning on that?
No.
Not a wolf,
100% not.
but something else.
No, nothing else. I'm going to stay here, wait for King's Head.
Lachlan.
Go, get some food. Take a breather after a crazy day.
Would you like me to stay with you? Have a
Sure.
little company? Sure.
Wouldn't mind
And
that.
then when they come back, we can get some food.
What the hell is kind of
What is,
trying to
what
get
is it? Is it a
Galway.
tentacle?
Something is trying to...
Hand.
It's Calcifer's
Why is it there's an
tail.
eldritch monstrosity?
It's like that hook that came in from like old cartoons to like pull you off the side. Sorry. That would be lovely vanity. I wouldn't mind that at all.
All right, so
Right.
Vanity and Bin are sitting on the steps of the library.
Mhm.
Cantor is trying to walk to town.
No,
No,
not
Cantor's
yet.
waiting.
Hearing that people seem down for that idea, so he's not going to go alone yet.
Okay, so the other
Gonna
three
go
of
with
you
the
are
other-
going to get food.
Correct.
Okay. You all go in to the domicile. You see Arbus Quard, the caretaker of students. You know is the daughter of Icthan Quard, who's the sorcerer mentor, who carried you Banbon after they blew themselves up.
Yes, fireball.
Seeming very concerned and agitated compared to the first time you did this day. Again, probably because of the lack of supplies. But there is still food. There's some rice. You do see this time, compared to last time, there are sort of a small setting of good berries laid out. So it seems like they are needing to supplement supplies with magical abilities of those at the campus. But yeah, after, I don't know, you all eat and then you're going to take food to them afterwards.
This is
I
a
would say
short
after
rest?
about 45 minutes. Yeah. After about 45 minutes, Bin, name the squirrel will sort of come over towards you, like very directly, and look up at you, and you're in here. Master Bin, what precisely requires my attention? Also, if it's September, is she stealing things?
I'm a bit confused here. But I believe I'm talking to Kingston right now. Lachlan, that is.
Name will scurry away.
Name? Wait.
If you had to guess, it seemed
Do
like
I
he might
know
have
this
animal
spell?
messengered you back.
Yeah.
Fair enough. This might take me just a minute, Vanity, but if I could spend another 10 minutes trying to get an animal.
I'll just be scribbling in one of my journals.
As you're focused on this, your friends are coming over with a couple bowls of rice, some stuff for
Did we get a
Vanity.
short rest in at dinner time?
Yeah, I'd say so. The hit dice of spellcasters.
I'm gonna roll some this wheel.
I am too.
I just love how there's, thank God, dinner. Massive heal, massive heal, massive heal.
You get half your hit dice rounded down or rounded up. Back.
I don't remember what hit. Joel, what's our hit die? 8?
Oh, a D8.
Okay. And we...
I like that Binge was like,
boop. 4s. No.
Wait, so if we get half our level rounded down and we're level 3, we just get 1.
No, rounded up. You'll get 2
rounded
back.
up. Okay, so 2. Got it. Okay.
Well, if we didn't expend hit dice at any point, do we still have our full amount, though?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think
So
Heather
that's
was just
why I rolled
checking
3.
for once you long rest, you're only going to get half back. So how many can you roll and then be full tomorrow?
Right.
Okay. I got 12.
And plus your con mod on each of those. Very good. Yeah, but a couple people or rest of the crews come back over with a bowl of rice. There are not many animals around because at this point we're pretty well into evening.
Shit. Well, Kingston just tried to message me and I fucked it up. I forgot that I should have been more succinct in what I was talking about. Anyway, if you find a small animal or something around, just let me know. I can trigger a messenger, send it back to him. Or if name comes back, I'll
We didn't by chance see him at dinner, did we?
You didn't.
Hilarious.
Okay.
Surely there's an owl. Eventually, it will get late enough, and I'll see something nocturnal tonight.
That or
why don't we just
Bats or
ask somebody where his office is?
I don't really want more people involved in this if we can help it.
Are all of their offices located in a central area?
There's some variety, but most of them are in the tower.
Do they live in their offices? Stay there?
No. Some of them live in town. Some of them live in the domicile, and some do live in either the tower or the gatehouse.
Who lives in town?
I don't think you know any of the professors well enough to know who lives in town, or even necessarily that they do live in town.
Is there a director in the tower?
Yeah, probably.
Why do we want to talk to him again? Vander's gonna say, why? Forgive me, my brain just not with it. What do we want to ask Lachlan?
A couple things, and then I'll say in your head. I want to ask him about what happened in Astra, and I have something else as well. Yeah.
All right. Something that more personal, which is why you're not saying it. This is
sure.
So you're all making your way back to the tower?
Yeah.
Sure, everything good has come from the tower so far.
Yeah.
I say we look for him quick. If we don't find him, maybe we head to Astra tonight.
Yeah.
You are heading into the tower. Sorry, what are you saying?
Yeah, just real quick. Like, do our characters know approximately by foot how long it takes to get to Astra? Remember it being like
It
downhill or
would
something?
be at least a couple hours walking.
Okay.
You're outside of town. It's not like there are city gates or anything that close at night, so it's not necessarily that would be a problem, but you are a ways out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Cantor would be keeping the time in mind. We don't even know if this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably at about 7:30, 8 o'clock moment.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we haven't even tried ever staying up, so we don't know if, when, how things reset. But with comparison to things at midnight, Cantor is keeping track of the time as we enter the tower.
Okay. As you start moving towards the tower, you walk in. Are you trying to avoid being seen?
Do we need to?
Great question.
Like, are we not
I would
allowed
not
to
want
be
call
there?
her.
No, it's not like it's off limits or anything. I was just trying to make sure what your intent was.
I think we wouldn't be trying to draw attention to ourselves, but we wouldn't want to look like we were sneaking either.
Okay, so you're
Just in case, I can cast a spell that makes us really, really hard to find. So if
This
we
better not be the vine one again.
no, it's pass without trace. She'll know what I was
Weeds
doing.
and vines sprout from the ground.
I guess everyone needs to make a strength saving throw.
Accidentally cast entangle.
What the fuck?
Ben!
Oh no, Cantor.
Yes. Strength. Oh god, I have a
I rolled
minus on the
5.
strength. Yep, I got a 5 as well.
And Seppi also needs to make one.
Oh, I don't even have a sheet open.
Bambon just jumps right up.
Banbon has been
Oh,
through
Banbon.
this shit. Banbon like sees
Seppi got an
Bin
18.
starting to cast and just jumps in the air. Seppi has also seen this before and is just like furiously biting at the vines that are showing up around him. So those two are free. Everybody else gets got.
Shit. I didn't. Shit. Shit.
Ouch!
I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I
Way to make an entrance.
I try to breathe. I try to breathe, and so that I can release the spell, and that the vines will go limp.
September in your head here. Oh, I like him.
The giggle's back and it likes you. So that's good. I think that means you're doing a good job and you should just breathe and let go of the spell.
Can I let go of the spell?
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe we just try to be sneaky without the aids of magic.
No damage.
I'm a little concerned that September, don't take this the wrong way, but like it kind of feels like maybe you have a straggler and that maybe you should like sit this one out.
Well, I think it's the thing that helped me in wherever I went. But that doesn't mean it's nice. It doesn't seem very nice.
This doesn't sound nice.
It's not as
This doesn't
mean
sound
as the other
helpful.
things. Well, no, it definitely helped me. I think it's why I didn't get my memory erased or changed. It stopped. I was moving towards things, right? And then there was a shimmer and I stopped and then this voice started instead.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's actually nice.
This voice sounds way you've described it, it sounds really scary, kind of
It's just more mischievous,
menacing.
puckish.
That's a reference. Yes. You're right. Many things are scary that aren't necessarily dangerous. Animals for sure do this all the time.
Seppi.
Seppi is dangerous, but so not a great idea, but still.
But I understand, like,
Seems to be able to know what all of us are doing through you. Is that correct?
It does seem like that's the case.
Yes, that seems like the case. Maybe it just knows what all of us are doing regardless, but we haven't tested that theory. I can just hang out here and read my book. I'm happy with that.
I must say I'm torn. Because if it did help you, then perhaps it would be a good idea. On the other hand, I don't trust it. And
Hey, voice in my head, are you trustworthy?
You don't hear any.
Ha, it didn't respond.
I'm gonna say into Ben Bond's head, I wanna test something out. I wonder if that voice can hear me say this. Hey Ben Bond, you ever had bofa?
And wait, you're saying this in my head, right?
And you can't respond.
Exactly.
I thought you could to message. Can't you respond to message?
That's not what he's doing.
It's not a
though.
message. Yeah.
Oh.
Both of these nuts? It's a squirrel joke.
You guys all just see Band Bud shaking their head.
Did you hear a giggle?
No, but it wasn't very funny. So
You
maybe
don't even know how funny. It was super funny.
it really no. I don't.
You couldn't
even
hear it.
Oh right. Well, you're not funny. Is the point? There's no
Fair.
All right, so the
getting
five
better
of
in
you
that.
are outside. You've briefly caught yourself in an entangle spell, which, overall, not the subtlest move. I've
thought
heard
we walked into the
encouragement
front.
that September stays here. The rest of you go.
Well, I mean, technically we're looking for a directory, right? Wouldn't that be on the first, like shortly after you walk in? Something like that?
Probably.
Yeah, I thought you all would go find Lachlan using the directory, talk to Lachlan, and I'd stay here and read
Yeah.
my book. Finally, have some time to fucking read,
Well,
and
sure.
then you'd come back and, we'd regroup.
I think one of us should at least stay with
You
September.
three besides September into the tower. I'll stay
Fair.
with September. Not because I don't trust September, but because I'm concerned for you. Like a
You said that in an
friend.
extremely disingenuous way.
I'm very genuine.
You looked like you were gonna vomit when you said that.
Yep. Just a little something in the back of the throat,
Practice lying, Cantor.
You three, quick in and out, 10-minute adventure.
Do
Quickly
it.
find the directory, talk to the professor if you can.
Okay.
Otherwise, I say after that we do my plan
Agreed.
about water spilling out of a bowl.
The
That's
three
like
of you head inside. September, you sit down, open your book. You're just sort of
Yes.
sitting on the steps of the tower. Cantor, you're, I assume, just entertaining yourself in some way while you wait.
Walking along.
The three of you walk inside. You haven't come in through this door before, so you went in through the central door, essentially, like where the actual tower is. You're looking around, and you do see what seems to be sort of a guide. Sorry, that's an unfortunate word. Not one of the orbs.
Fair. Yeah.
You see a directory, and it seems like Lachlan's office is on the west side of things. So not in the central tower, but the west part of the building.
Let's go.
You all
I
start.
go there.
you all start heading that way. September, you're reading your book, and from the page you see a little wisp of orange come up and begin trailing through the door into the tower.
I'm going to try to grab the wisp of orange with Mage Hand.
Interesting. Yeah. It seems like it can hold on.
Cantor?
Hmm?
Can you see what my Mage Hand is holding?
You see a wisp of orange that almost looks like string or smoke.
Maybe?
Okay, again,
And maybe we step away from the tower.
yeah, let's do that. I'll move away with my mage hand moving the string also. Did you say it came from the book or just rose up? Like, where did it originate from?
It's hard for you to tell. It almost is like the entire length of it seems like it manifested at once. Your mage hand is not able to pull it in any way. It just slides along the...
But I've stopped its progression. It's not progressing at all.
It was never moving, really.
You said it was moving into the tower.
Sorry. By that I meant metaphorically, like you could follow the line of it into the tower.
Golly, no, I can't do metaphors.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. It wasn't like a snake moving in. It was sort of like this entire thing popped into...
So there's a full connected line where I can't see like either end of it, and it's in the tower.
You are one end of it.
I am one end of
A
it.
long rope.
Yes.
That
And it leads
Okay.
into
And I
the...
can't see the other end.
Correct, because it's somewhere... It
But my
passes
mage hand,
directly through the door.
It has some form of corporealness because my mage hand is gripping it.
Yes?
Lovely.
Cantor,
Hmm?
should we follow the string?
No following the string.
But I want to
No
know where it
following the
goes.
threads.
hit it with a
Think
rock.
what happens when you follow threads.
But aren't you in the least bit curious?
Yes and no. I'm more curious about what
I don't even know what it is, but maybe I can find out what it is if we follow it. Get some sweet,
But it
sweet
wants you to
magic
find
lore.
out what it is. Keeps giggling and telling you to find it like a hide and seek.
Yeah, I mean it's into this. But that doesn't mean it's bad necessarily. Some of the things I'm into aren't bad. So far.
Don't kink shame Cantor.
What's the worst that could happen if we follow it?
Oh.
Eyes glazing over, forgetting everything that happens.
Right. What's the second worst that could happen if we follow it?
You let whatever's in there out?
But we don't know that that's bad. Maybe we need to follow it so that we can warn our friends about it.
Or maybe we wait for our friends, with big air quotes as you said it out loud.
Oh, I read
to
that as just being
return, and
difficult.
then we can decide.
But what if it does something to our friends?
So much love.
It's just such an unfamiliar word for September. Never said it.
It's also possible Galway's feeding secrets to Lena or something.
There would not ever be feeding of secrets.
There's always feeding of secrets.
No, I'm trying to read way too much into faces.
Hmm.
Joel, what
Yeah,
are we?
well,
What are we contemplating?
is September like still asking Cantor if she should enter, or is September,
Yeah,
like,
trying to get Cantor to agree that we should follow it. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic. I haven't used any first level spell slots.
Yes, good. Do magic thing to figure out what's going on instead of
So-
following the thread.
I will get there. I'm a hands-on learner. But first, theory first, then hands-on. So if it's magic, I should be able to tell what school of magic it is from this, right?
Yes. It does appear
Okay.
to be magic, and it appears to be conjuration. Although there's a little bit of illusion woven into it as well. Also, Cantor's quite magical, just generally. Incidentally, the three of you inside have made your way down. You found Lachlan's door. Do you knock?
Absolutely.
Come in.
We shall enter.
Sorry to bother you like this. I was the one with the
Yes, Master
messenger.
Ben. You sent a pigeon.
Yes. Happy to find you. Also, the scroll you sent back, name, delightful lad. Just in case you are wondering.
What is his name?
Name.
No, what is it?
Name.
Yes, that is what I'm asking about.
Right, I know.
That's what he's called. His squirrel. The squirrel.
Oh, the squirrel is called Name. I'm sorry. I
The
had a
squirrel's
bit of a
name. His name.
who's on first situation there. Sorry, of dire consequences. It's hard for us to explain, and honestly, we can't explain without your brain melting, quite literally, sadly. What were some of the professors doing in Astra last night? If you don't mind me asking.
Yes, your Miss Septima's group mates, I take.
Aye.
I know that the Archmentor has good reasons for wanting to avoid any sort of panic, but it seems to me that there's no reason to be too alarmed. Several magical devices in the city were sabotaged, so they sent several of us to ensure that there were no injuries, to see if we could find anything about who might have done this. Sadly, we were not able to. I believe that the Archmentor didn't want to frighten anyone with
Sure.
the knowledge that someone was doing this, but in all honesty, such things are not especially unusual. Astra is a very wealthy city. Many people are jealous of it and its magical secrets and attempt to find them however they can.
What did the magic items that were sabotaged, what did they do? Were they used for protection or anything, or?
No, nothing so major. One was a system of linking crystals to provide light. One was it wasn't that. That was the one I was sent to. One was something that helps propel water. As a port city and built on a bit of a slope, it's good to be able to maintain the water's distance from the shore at times, ensure that we don't get flooding when the seas kick up. But it wasn't like anything was damaged because of that. The system just went down. And I believe the last was just a cart that had magical reinforcements on it.
A cart that had magical reinforcements on it.
For carrying more weight.
For carrying more weight.
its enchantments stopped working, and then the thing shattered under the load it was carrying.
Do you remember what it was carrying?
As I said, I wasn't on it, but it was merchants' goods. The other carts were brought in to move them, but it required splitting them across multiple vehicles.
I mean, I don't want to sound paranoid or anything. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, had this been a different group coming in to ask, would you have told them what you've just told us?
Honestly, yes. As I've said, I understand and appreciate the Archmentor's position on not wanting to disquiet potential students, but
All right.
Astra has more magic than almost anywhere else on Tyr. It's kind of a fact of life that others try to steal it or damage it or whatever.
I mean, I don't want to sound too forward or anything, but it sounds like an excellent caper if you were to knock out the system carrying goods and it was split up, and you then knocked out some lights so that people couldn't see you take it, and maybe that how you got in or how you got out was through the water system. I mean, it does sound quite remarkable that those three things happened specifically.
I understand.
None of this has to do with the academy. Oops, sorry. Sorry, none of this has to do with the academy itself, right?
No, Mentor Zelen was one of the fabricators for many of these things, and some of our graduates are ones who maintain the system, but the authorities prefer to let us handle it if something magical is occurring, which is mainly because they're afraid they might accidentally blow something up. In fact, almost none of these systems can actually blow anything up, even if you do something wrong with it, but, they get concerned.
I'll be taking notes in a journal as he's talking, and then I'll look up and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just can't remember. What's the date today?"
God.
2nd
Yeah.
of 10 day.
Yeah, it's
Basically,
the
I'm
second.
just asking
not
to
the
see what
third.
he thinks
Yeah,
it is,
and
and I'll
he
just
will
write
respond.
it down.
I was just trying to remember if the classes were actually set up that way, but yes, it's the second of the 10-day.
Okay, so I'll write it down, like, whatever. So he's not suspicious, but I wanted to know what day he thought it
No,
was.
he just he
to
had
be
to
sure
think
he
about it
was.
for a second, but it seemed like in the way that someone trying to remember what day it is has to think about it.
Do you mind me asking who are the other professors that had to go with you? You and Professor Zelen, you said?
No, Professor. Oh, yes, actually, Professor Zelen did have to come out. They were responsible for checking the water, I believe. Several others. The mentor of astronomy was responsible for some of the maintenance of the lights system, so she was with me. And I don't fully remember who they sent to the cart because I wasn't there, and it occurred slightly later. So I was already gone by the time.
What's our friend's name that we Rodwin Road that we spent time with today?
Yep.
Rindom?
Rindom.
Yes.
Was Rindom with you at all?
They went to the water side. We
Rindom was with. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that was
we traveled
Zelen.
together for the first part
That
of
was
the
Zelen.
journey.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Perhaps the only thing that meant, not having to do with Astra, was that Astra's leadership was gone that night. Especially Rindom. So I'm so sorry. We must seem barking at this.
Meanwhile, Banbon, behind you in the hall, you see an apple rolling down the hall.
Order away.
Like it's crossing sort of the doorway down the hall.
Bambon will look at the apple, look back at Ben, who is still talking, look over at Vanity, who I'm sure is still writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll turn out to follow the apple.
You can follow the apple down the hall. Meanwhile, out front, what have you all done?
Argued and finally reached a consensus that we're going to follow the string. No, Joe, you don't have to agree with anything I just fucking said.
I know, I was like, wait, did Joel actually say yes?
No.
Oh, yes, definitely.
You don't have to agree with me. Nothing else I can really do with detect magic there. The barbarian in me wants to cast magic missile on the string. But I'm wasting spell slots then. Look, I think we should follow this to see what's going on.
How about this? We can go inside, find our friends. Speaking of which, you started calling them friends, which is fine. Go in, find our friends, but you cannot follow the string. Please?
Deal.
That was so convincing.
At least I didn't look like I was gonna throw up.
You got a point
Deal.
there.
Okay. You head inside.
I'm gonna look at the directory to see where Lachlan's room is. Do we see the string still?
Yes. Lachlan's office is in the west wing of it. You see the string curling back towards the sort of back of the tower. So it's, if you've walked in the doors, it follows the hall to the right and then goes down a hallway going further back into the tower.
What does the directory say is back there?
Looking at it, not much. A couple of like classrooms, sort of a meeting room. From your left, as you're pondering this, you hear and you see Banbon hopping towards you, following an apple that's rolling.
Just continuously rolling. Is the ground slanted?
No.
No. Stick my mage hand in front of the apple.
The apple passes through it.
Banbon, I don't think that's a real apple.
The apple, though, is sort of going thump, thump, as it rolls, and it's going to go past you all and then turn left down the hallway where the string is.
Don't follow it, Banbon. Do you see this string?
Yes, Banbon sees the string.
Okay, since I do, I see the string. Yes.
It's coming out of me, and I think it's the compromising.
But
and I think it wants you to go that way. Yeah, it's not a real apple.
You're gonna.
Did you just see it go through my mage hand?
You're gonna see it go thump thump. The apple like rolls backwards, back around to the corner.
And apples don't behave like that.
But I'll pull out my magic apple and be like, this one does things too.
Does it do those things?
I don't know, it could. Maybe. It does different things.
Yeah, so if your apple does cool things, then you don't need to follow the boring apple, right? Right, Van Von?
The apple bounces slightly.
It's no longer a boring apple. And I wanted to know where the basement was anyway. Maybe this will lead me down there.
I think that's a safe guess, but we shouldn't go until we have everybody. Look, Apple, just be patient, okay?
You can hear it fading slightly down the hallway.
But I'm gonna lose the apple.
It's not a real apple.
I think it's a real apple.
It's not corporeal.
How did it make the noise?
I can do that with
it got my
thaumaturgy.
attention by making the noise
Right,
of an
okay.
apple rolling down the hallway.
You are a
Banban, look at that
spellcaster.
apple.
You know what illusions are.
Thump, 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 thump. It rolls back around the corner.
Cantor makes a minor illusion of a different apple. Look, Banban, a second apple. They must be multiplying. But it's a boring one. It doesn't move.
As Cantor says this, an apple is going to drop out of the air into your hand, Banban. An actual, like a physical apple.
And it's not going to go through their hand?
No, just lands in their hand. You see the other apple. Boom, 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 boom.
Cantor, did you give me this apple?
Yes. Yes.
And because
really
Cantor said yes, I will take a bite from this apple.
Oh no.
It's an apple.
Okay,
Nice,
good.
refreshing.
It's a poison apple.
Minerally sweet.
It's a yummy
Here,
apple.
Banban, let's think of it this way. It's not a special magic apple. It's a boring old tower ghost that's messing with apples.
But I thought we wanted answers here. I want apples. You want answers.
But what if the ants release
Cantor.
apple ghosts?
I
was that?
mean, fine.
Once we
I thought
have
you guys were
everybody-
staying outside anyways.
The string. Do you not care? It's coming out of my body.
Then where'd the apple come from?
Probably the thing that's making the string.
So then we should definitely go and find where the apple went to see the thing
Absolutely.
that's making the string that's coming
Yes.
out of you.
Yes. Yes.
Right,
But
and
not
believe it or
until
not,
everybody is here.
Currently it's 2 versus 1. But what if the rest of the group disagrees?
Well, I didn't prepare it yet because we haven't slept. Well, then maybe we should go now. You're right, Cantor.
No, I was
Yes.
saying, what if we wait
Yes.
for a quorum?
Yes.
Chaos.
Yes. Apples and string things. And this, if there are more apples, and I'm still eating the apple that just appeared out of nowhere, we need food, right? Maybe there's a supply of food that they don't realize that they have, and we would be helping everybody by getting more apples.
Maybe the druids can just cast Goodberry.
Yes, but you saw the good berry. It's more like a supplement. It's not as good as an apple.
Okay.
The apple core in your hand, Banban, is going to hop down and go thump, 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 thump.
Oh God.
Meanwhile, you all are very happily.
What is Steppy doing?
Meanwhile, you all are very happily taking notes, talking to Lachlan. He's discussing with you various magical systems in the city. Sort of the fact that this is actually pretty normal in terms of they go out and do maintenance, etc. What's Seppi doing? He probably just chomping on a notebook, looking at.
He's not
September.
at all like phased by the apples.
You think he gives a shit about plant matter?
Well, no, but it's moving.
Yeah, but he eats books and living things.
Okay.
If we could, I'd like to ask just a more relevant question than the dribble that he's giving me about the city. And that is, what was it? I was given I was given an assignment by one of my professors. I'm a little bit more into the tactics side and strategy side of magic, and I was given a hypothetical that what if I were to attack Astra, let's say, how would I go about it? How would I diminish its power within before I came and attacked? Because of course there's so much magic here that no organization that I know of could make a frontal assault or anything like that. And I was thinking that perhaps I would mess with the supplies of this place. A bit of a magical siege, perhaps. I would make it so that the place was a bit more in chaos before I came in. Does that sound like a good plan? Would you add to that, or?
I'm terribly afraid that I am not particularly one for such things, but perhaps you could speak to Ichthan. He worked for many years as a mercenary, and he's quite interested in such things. But yes, I mean, to your point, that would make sense.
Sure.
Also, assassinations, other things could be relevant.
Right. Who would you take out first? The Archmentor?
If I wanted to, and possessed agents with the capability to, yes, most likely.
Great. Awesome.
Lovely.
This is going to sound like a weird question, but...
As if the others haven't?
Sure. I'm with you on that. Is there like a secret word or like a small bit of knowledge about yourself that you do not tell students? That if for some reason you were to, if I were to say something that needed you to believe me right away, I could just say this. Would you mind telling me what that might be?
And he's gonna sort of like look at you. It seems like he's kind of trying to size up.
I'll stop writing and look at him very, intently.
Also, where the hell's Banban? Vanity. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lachlan, Kingston.
Vegapygmy.
Vegapygmy. Thank you.
Writing it down.
Thank you. That's great. Well, you know what? I think that puts us on the right track. I apologize for bothering you tonight. Certainly, you've been incredibly helpful. Good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
And we'll go searching for Banban.
Yep.
And I think as you begin that search, and as the group in the junction of the hallway consider their options and what it takes to have a quorum to vote, that's where we'll cut it for tonight. We don't go
Lovely.
too much
We have
longer.
to go research Robert's rules.
But radio. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully everybody had a good time. Taking a bit of break from programming next week, given that there's Thanksgiving and lots of festivities, traveling, prep stuff. But the next week we should be back, and I believe we are back with more Astra Academy. Leading off, potentially some Spire, and then I think Fates of Rin Friday?
There's a Halloween game, too.
Oh, yes,
Tuesdays,
a Halloween game.
Yes,
Astra
my
Halloween game.
Halloween game on the
Wednesday.
30th.
Wednesday,
Yeah,
Halloween.
yeah.
Thursday, potentially
So excited.
Spire. Friday Fates of Rin. So
I
back to a
believe
pretty
so.
full week.
Yeah.
So it's ending.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you much for tuning in. As always, from all of us here at Helpful Goat Gaming, stay safe, be well, be kind to yourselves and to each other. Night.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.